You're in the middle of 20 minutes of news with Herb Weisbaum on KOMO News 1000, FM 97.7.
2:15 on this Monday afternoon. Jeremy Grader at the editor's desk right now. It is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and in a world where so many everyday devices are now connected to the web, it is really important to take privacy and security seriously every single day. Craig Spiezle, executive director of the Online Trust Alliance, which happens to be based in Bellevue, says don't assume that device you have in your home is safe and secure, and he's here to share a few tips with us.
We see the threats on the security and the privacy area growing exponentially, but at the same time, consumers are realizing a tremendous amount of benefit from these same devices.
So what do we need to do to protect ourselves?
Well, one of the things that we see right now is for consumers to take a look at all the devices they have and reassess the security and privacy. And not unlike changing the clocks for daylight savings times and changing the battery, this is a great opportunity to relook at all those devices and make sure their security and privacy settings match your needs as a user.
You came up with a checklist of some specific things. Give us a couple of specific things we should be doing. Let's say we have an internet-connected TV or an internet-connected thermostat or door locks or whatever.
Well, there's two aspects of this. These devices, for the most part, are safe and secure when they're shipped, but they change over time. So consumers should look at the settings. Are they set and configured to get automatic updates from the manufacturer? If you received one from a friend, or perhaps if you moved in a new home, you should also make sure that you're configured to receive the information from those vendors. So that's on the security side.
What about the router itself? We may have a router that's very old or we got from the cable company or something years and years ago. Do we assume that has problems and we need to check that out?
Well, clearly the age of any of these devices is a concern. And over time, there's only so much support that they can provide in technical updates. So in the case of a router from your cable provider or ISP, the good news, they are supporting those. But you still should check the settings, because what we find sometimes is the security updates may be patched and pushed down to the device automatically, but they may override some of your privacy settings.
Are the criminals of the world aware of this new vulnerability? Are they taking advantage of it?
Absolutely. We're seeing it in multiple sectors.
So they could figure out a way to get in through my coffee pot and then get into my router and then get into my computer or something like that?
The challenge is there are thousands of new devices coming out every month. So whether it's your coffee pot, your refrigerator, your TV, or your wearable technologies. And so the challenge is a lot of the companies are shipping these products, but are they really looking at the long-term or the life cycle security and privacy implications?
And clearly companies need to start taking this seriously because the crooks are.
Absolutely. And again, it's no longer just your security and privacy, but it extends to your personal and physical safety as well.
Hacking is one thing, but these connected devices may be collecting information on you. What do you need to do about that?
They're collecting a tremendous amount of data, and all the data types from when you're home, what you're doing, where you're doing it. And so that data may seem rather benign, but in reality is that data is being mined and being used for marketing purposes and other areas. So you really need to think about your data ownership and your data rights and make sure you have a conscious decision of when and who you're sharing the data with.
So, for instance, if you have an internet-connected thermostat or a door lock that use an app, somebody's going to know when you're going in and out, when you're home, when you're on vacation, whatever.
That's the risk. And so in the wrong hands, that data can be abused. And certainly, for example, if they know when you're going and coming, it's not only can they take control of your devices, but can they actually break into your home? On the physical side, your personal side, can they track where you're going, where you've been? So a lot of data being collected. And the other element is the data is much more sensitive. And you think about a wearable watch or technology that collects your heartbeat, your blood pressure, other personal vitals. All of a sudden, that's become ultra sensitive and, again, very personal.
Craig, is privacy just gone? Have we just given it away and everybody's going to know everything about us and the days of having some private stuff is long gone?
Well, I hope that's a wrong perception, but it is a concerning area. And so what it means that we as consumers have a shared responsibility. We need to double down. You need to relook at your settings, what you're sharing, and are you getting a positive value exchange from that? But we believe that, again, privacy is a fundamental personal right. And if we follow what's happening in Europe, we really should be making a lot of changes here in the U.S.
Well, that's the problem. Privacy comes first in Europe and making money comes first in the USA.
That is an assertion many people believe. I am encouraged, though, more companies are looking at this. I think part of the challenge is with new government regulations in Europe, that is spilling over to the U.S., and companies need to look at that. And at the same time, consumers should not be shy of asking and pushing back and voting with their pocketbooks. If the product doesn't meet those requirements, then they should refrain from purchasing them.
Craig Spiezle, Executive Director of the Online Trust Alliance based in Bellevue. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.